This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 274. 6 Things I Learned by Not Spending Money for 30 Days by Kalen Bruce of MoneyMiniBlog.com. And I'm your host and narrator, Dan. I am here each weekday reading to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And today we have a post from Kalen Bruce telling his story about not spending money. But before we get into that, I'd recommend checking out Jason Hartman and his Creating Wealth podcast. He's helping out our show, and you can help us by checking out his show too. Just come by oldpodcast.com/wealth to learn more. But for now, let's hear today's post as we optimize your life. 6 Things I Learned by Not Spending Money for 30 Days by Kalen Bruce of MoneyMiniBlog.com. I love challenges, especially when there's seemingly no reason to start them. And that's exactly what my wife and I just did, a challenge. The challenge? To not spend money for 30 days. No reason really, just for fun. And yes, believe it or not, it actually was fun. Here are the results. The terms. If you're wondering, yes, we paid our bills. This is not about to be a story of how we're now drowning in late fees because we decided to skip necessary payments. Here are the things we still paid for. Tithe and giving, housing and utilities, investments and savings, and 2 tanks of gas. We really couldn't get around this one. But that's it. Groceries? Nope. Eating out and entertainment? No. Clothing? Nope. None of that. Not a dime. We went 30 days and counting of spending no money out of our budget. Other than the 2 tanks of gas, our automatic expenses are all we paid. We only bought gas because of a pre-planned trip back home. If we hadn't already planned to take that trip, we wouldn't have spent that either. 6 things I learned in the 30 days. 1. We waste a lot of food. By we, I mean Americans, but we aren't the only culture that wastes. For example, we have had several get-togethers with my squadron at work, and every time we notice that nobody wants to take home the leftovers. But we certainly do. We fed our family well for several nights on leftovers from a community picnic, leftovers that were going to be thrown away. Due to food safety, there are times when it's simply not an option to take home food. But if food is just going into the trash because it's easier than taking it home, consider taking it home yourself. 2. We are all food hoarders. One of the first things you probably think about when you hear of a no-spending challenge is food. How do you eat? You have to have food, right? Well, sure, but here's the thing. You already have food. We decided to eat what we had, and now, 36 days later, we're still making it work. It forces you to eat meals based on what you have, not what you want, but almost all of us can do it. How long could you eat on the food in your cabinets? 3. We take our resources for granted. We all have resources in our life. Your employer or your community may offer resources, or they could come from somewhere else. One way or another, we have them, and we take them for granted. My wife has found all kinds of ways to bring food and supplies into the house by volunteering at different places and applying for different programs, and I'm not talking about food stamps. There are always resources out there to help you out. You just have to go find them. It may mean working a few hours or volunteering, but they're there. 4. We are blessed when we make an effort. You can call this what you want, but when you attempt to responsibly do something with a pure heart, you will be blessed in it. We didn't start the challenge out of greed. We started it for fun and to see how much money we really need to spend on a daily basis. Once we started the challenge, it was amazing to watch the blessings roll in. We didn't tell very many people we were doing this, yet people from everywhere started giving us food, cleaning supplies, toiletries, etc. It just so happened that a few of our friends were moving and they all decided to call us up and give away the food in their fridge. Coincidence? Maybe. Or it could have been because we are a family of 6. Either way, it happened, and it was pretty amazing. At the end of this challenge, we now have more food in our house than we did when we started. 60 days? Here we come. 5. We don't need to spend as much as we think. When you think of your monthly budget, odds are you spend quite a bit more than you need to spend. We certainly did. We love eating out and we budget for it every month, but you won't realize how much you love to eat out until you stop for a month. It was eye-opening how many times we would have eaten out if we were spending money. And this goes for other areas too, like buying more clothes than we need for ourselves and our children. 6. We get creative when we place limitations on ourselves. Doing this challenge forced us to find creative ways to do things without spending money. We could have just kept on like normal and spent our regular budget, but we had to find ways to make our life as normal as possible without money. We realized that the things we do together as a family are much more interactive when you don't spend money, It seems like the more money you spend, less time you spend together. Think amusement parks and movie theaters. The final results and what's next. Overall, we were quite happy with the challenge. It was fun and forced us to take a closer look at our finances. We now have more ideas and ways to bring stuff into the house without paying for it. And for the record, no, we're not planning to be the next Bonnie and Clyde. That would be a different kind of challenge altogether. So what's next? We're going to go for 60 days. Same scenario, 30 more days. There's no doubt in my mind that we can do it, and I'll let you know the results once we hit the 60-day mark. You just listened to the post titled 6 Things I Learned by Not Spending Money for 30 Days by Kalen Bruce of MoneyMiniBlog.com. And if you like this kind of content, or really any kind of content about saving money, about investing, passive income, all the stuff you hear right here on Optimal Finance Daily, check out Jason Hartman and his podcast, which is called the Creating Wealth Podcast. Jason is a real estate developer. He's a money lender. He's owned property actually in 11 states and has hundreds of tenants, and is also, of course, an investor. So there's a lot that you're going to learn from this show, and he covers a wide range of topics. So again, if you like what you're hearing here on Optimal Finance Daily, check out the Creating Wealth Podcast. You can visit oldpodcast.com/wealth to get some more information about it. And you can stay tuned right here to Optimal Finance Daily, because I'm planning to read some of his content here as well. So there's going to be a lot of great content to look forward to. Again, I want to thank Jason for helping to support this podcast. And by helping Jason, you're helping us. So oldpodcast.com/wealth. Make sure you subscribe to the Creating Wealth Podcast with Jason Hartman. That's it for episode 274. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody. And I'll see you in the Friday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.